Now imagine this. July 1st, 1940. Kids are playing in the garden. Maybe one, like we see right here. And then all of a sudden, out from the sky, rumbles a huge airplane, and the Nazis drop their first daytime bomb on mainland Britain. It became the start of Britain's entry into World War II. But because Wick never fell to the Nazis, history changed course. Today, we're going to see everything there is to do in Wick. We are going to go to the Black Stairs, the Pilot House, this Pulteny, this TRINKIE, this Iron Welly, this Castle of Sinclair, Girnigoe, and the shortest street. So let's go explore to see what this amazing town has to offer.
While we set off on our walk, let me introduce myself. I'm Rebecca. I live life on my own terms. One day, when I was playing GeoGuessr, I plonked on this beautiful location. So today, we're doing a fast drive on our feet. Let's see what Wick has to explore.
So for a very, very long time, what I'm going to show you used to be there. But then in 2006, Wick did something very cool. And they gave the street that we're on right here, all of that, its own postcode. See, right now, we're standing on the shortest street in the world. And in 2006, we can see here that it finally got its representation of the shortest street in the world of 2.05 meters. And it just has this one postal address right here, number 1. And right now, today, it houses a hotel. So if you want to stay in a hotel on the shortest street in the road, don't worry, it goes all the way back here and there's many more rooms and stuff. But for right here, it's as long as a very tall human. Okay, check this out. Now we're at the old port. Now back in the early 1800s, this entire area was filled with so many steamships that were catching herring. Boink, 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 boink. In fact, it was so full that the ships were so close together, you could just like boing, 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 boing across the harbor. And you didn't even have to like go on these boardwalks or anything like that. Let's go to Papigoe. Papigoe, photo opportunity. Did you go to Papigoe? Right after you enter the town, we can see history. Do you see right in front of us? We see this huge cave. Now this cave was used for smuggling back in the 18th and 19th century. See, in the 18th and 19th centuries, stuff was really expensive. In order to avoid tariffs and taxes and all sorts of other stuff, they hid their goods in caves. Oh, what is that? This is such an adventure, you guys. What is that? I don't know, but it stinks. It looks like a dolphin. Sorry, dude. I hope you had a good life, though. There's all sorts of random things down here that I didn't expect to find. Tetanus, the old thing. That! We see an old Victorian fence top or something, like probably hand carven. There's another dolphin part. More parts. I'm such a great blogger, I don't even know what that is. There's another ship part. Okay, I don't think I want to be here. This is very not where I want to be. An adventure rock. Back on the good green rock. Wow. What is that? It's like some slippery, slimy stuff. I didn't expect it to be this hard to get to. Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh no. How do we get down? How do we get down? I think the tide is coming in. I wouldn't really recommend this. Guys, we've made it.
Now this might look like an ordinary sea cave, but back in the 18th and 19th centuries, spots like this were perfect hiding places for smugglers.
Incredible, we're in history. We're in a pirate cave, can you believe it?
Under the cover of night and the crashing tide, they'd sneak in barrels of whiskey, tea, and even brandy, dodging the king's taxmen like an absolute legends. If these walls could talk, they'd whisper secrets of illegal deals, close escapes, and a whole lot of contraband.
And it looks like it's really easy to enter, and it's not. Like, it's super slippery. There's tetanus on the floor. Okay, now let me go ascend those rocks, and we're gonna get back to exploring. This was a much longer detour than I thought it would be. We're in the middle of nowhere. I feel like IRL GeoGuessr. Blunk, where are you? Nondescript. UK, somewhere in the north. Woo! But here we have a little landmark. And I want to see what it is. What are you? What are you, little landmark? Oh, it's like we have a little Commonwealth War Memorial. Yeah. Papigoe and Ciao War Memorial for World War I. How cool. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I've been walking for a very long way and I've seen no cars. But one thing I really like about this part of the world, we still have history. Look, it just tells us about some bomb shelters that were here. Like down here, we can see shelters that was built during the Second World War to shelter some people. And over here, there's a massive airfield that was built for planes to land. It's a huge concrete runway. And it's still in use today by mostly the military. So you can probably, maybe you can hear the military stuff in the background. But all across this area, it's such a strategic point, you know, both for the military now and also back in the Viking times. Now, every time I mention Vikings, I get a lot of hatred comments. So, shoo. I think Viking lore is so cool because it dates back so many years to these seafaring people that found Canada, that found Iceland, and that have such an amazing and rich culture. And so I think it's really cool to see how it influenced Scotland. Well, back in the Norse times, back, you know, in the 10th to 12th century, the Vikings or the Norwegians or whatever you guys want to call them. And they were settling in this part of Scotland. And it wasn't until the late 1200s when Håkon failed in the Battle of Largs did the Vikings actually start to exit and go back to Norway. When they were over here, they set up their culture. Wick comes from an old Norse term, Vik, Reykjavik. It means bay. How boring. Hey guys, how's it going?
At this point, I was 20 kilometers in my walk and 0 snacks, so I tried to bleed out my feelings to the local sheep, but apparently they weren't up for my banter.
It's impossible for me to explain how peaceful this is. We're gonna try to fly the drone. Let's see if it works. Can you imagine owning a castle like this? So over here, we had the west side of the castle. There was a bridge where you could see this nice little sea stack. And then we had a huge castle here, little entryway here. Don't forget about the church. Wow. Guys, this is incredible. It's one of the few things in Scotland that's listed on the most endangered list of archaeological digs. So this would have been that drawbridge that connected both sides together. Look at that. Dangerous building. Wow. That's pretty. Look down there. We have like a little boop, boop in the rock. Maybe that's where you would get off your ship and then enter the bottom floors of the castle as you were arriving up here.
The Sinclair family were basically one of Scotland's last mafia-styled clans. This castle has seen battles, mutinies, and scandals over centuries of salty wind and people. Let's explore what's left.
Bro, I'm over here. Come on. Come on. Droney apparently likes to be talked to. He's kind of loud. But we're going to try to see how this works. This castle's incredible. I'd love to climb in it and show you, but it's not allowed. So we're just gonna like appreciate. Look at all of that.
One thing that's not captured in this video is how treacherous and steep these cliffs are. I was even scared to let my drone come over the side of the cliff, so let's try to land him before we go.
Droney wants to land. Come on, land. Land. Okay, we're going down here to see what's down here. Be very careful. You don't want to end up like the castle and endangered. Wow! Wow! guys, I did not expect this. I don't even know what I expected. I just saw a purple dot on the map. Thanks, by the way, Google. Love that feature.
It was so windy down there, so here's a little bit safer view of what I was watching. Well, I knew after this it was going to be a long trek back to town. What took me a couple of hours is going to take you guys about 3 seconds. Enjoy.
I'm back. I had a load of food and 2 cookies. Biscuits were in the UK. No, they're cookies. And they were delicious. Can we see inside? That'd be so cool if we could see inside, you guys. Do you see anything? Is it cool? Okay, well, we'll look in the edit together. I hope that was very cool. You just looked in the mailbox. So today, Wick has about 6,000 residents. At its peak in the early 18th century, it had over 10,000 residents. Most of them in the fishery business, bringing fish in. So there was probably way more people that lived here because whenever you're fishing, you're kind of not always in town. But with over the 40 bars that were in town, it was a pretty wild area, like the Las Vegas of Scotland at the time. Crazy things up here. Probably a lot of adult entertainment and whatever else goes on with bar shenanigans. Well, in the early 20th century, prohibition, the stop of drinking alcohol, was kind of popular and a growing trend around the world. And so Wick decided to try it out. So from the early 1920s to the mid-1940s, this town went dry. Kind of. While the pubs shut, the boom of distilleries actually happened. And so that's what started all of the distilleries being spun up around here. There was nowhere to go, so you made it by yourself. No trip to Wick would be complete without a stop by the old Pulteny Distillery, which we can see, old Pulteny. Okay, that was incredible. Now, I couldn't record anything that I saw, but I got a private tour, you guys. So the whiskey grinder, the grain grinder here, is like over 100 years old, and there's only one dude in the world that fixes all of them. And so my private ferry tour guide, she showed me all of that and saw some like really old barrels. And I learned about how the old Pulteny distillery makes their whiskey. What incredibly friendly people. Okay, so let's keep on going to explore and seeing what other nice people of this busy city have to offer. One thing I've noticed when talking with the locals around here is that they don't call this place Wick. They call it the Caithness, the whole region, the area that we're in around here. I guess Wick is just like the little town designation that we have, but they refer to the region. They refer to the Inverness area as the Black Isle. City names, not a thing up here. Look at this, we're just on a farm road. And I guarantee that long ago, both of these were part of some sort of a stone circle. Now, well, most of the stone circles, farmers have kept, especially with the National Trust protecting a bunch of stuff. Literally, they're in the middle of a field, and stone circles stop people's ability to farm. So a lot of the stone circles have been removed and reused. And I think those were magic stones. Look at this cool town. Region. Caithness. Look at this cool Caithness. They say horses can read human emotion, right? Well, let's see, because I want to interview a horsey. Hi guys. Would you like to be in my vlog? Come over here. Look at what we're opening up into. You guys, welcome to the North Sea. And then down here, we have TRINKIE. Do you see it from way up there? Trinkie! Trinkie! Look at these rocks, you guys. Check these rocks out. They're just like fractured in the coolest way. Why does it say Trinkie? Zero idea. But like clearly this is painted. Trinkie! Trinkie! Guys, I found another smuggling cave. Look at this one. Like this is way more accessible than before. You're gonna go up on the elevator stick. Check that out. And it's just made out of these natural fractures. Look at this geology. Isn't that cool? Can you see me? Hello? Hi. I'm way down here. But I'm very excited to see this edit because I want to see what that is. Why do I always do this? Google apparently thinks there's a cave down here. Oh, I see it. But guys, the tide is super high right now. So I don't think we're going to be able to go inside. But at least I can get my shoes muddy. Muddy, muddy. Oh, that looks like a way better trail. Thank you, whoever made this trail. And see what's inside it. Wow. These caves were no joke. Like, the tide comes up here. Those rocks are still wet from when it was high tide. Oh, I should have checked that rock before I stepped on it. If you fall on this, you are sliding vroom, into the sea. Wow. Okay, check. Okay, at least that one's sticky. Man, if I knew how to fly a drone, I would go fly my drone in there. Now my drone was fine, but he had some problems. And one of them was obeying me. So he's currently on timeout. Okay, there's no way I can get into that cave. It's around that corner. There's another one over there. How incredible. Whoops. Found a slippery. Okay, so it's like 5 minutes I was down there trying to see if there was any alternative ways to get in. And I didn't find any. But that tide is moving in really fast. So I don't want to get stuck out at sea because the North Sea looks cold. And I don't want to be cold. And if you get stuck in the sea, you have to take off your shoes because apparently your shoes make you drown. And I don't like cold feet. So we're gonna go back up the muddy path. Okay, enough of this. And this was supposed to be my day off the gym. 47 kilometers later, we got our steps in, you guys. Okay, we got bad audio, so deal with it. I asked Google the best way, fastest way to get back to my apartment. And he said, go right. Well, naturally I was gonna go left because it looked like the most direct. But for whatever reason, I trusted him. I think he's wrong, but look where we've gone, you guys. Like some random magic circle right here. What is this? Google's wrong, but this is cool. It's like an ode back to the prehistoric people that definitely chilled out here. I have no idea what this is, but I'm all in for it. What is this? We have like a rock. Oh look, it's a nautical rock. So over here we have Bergen, 340 miles that way. Reykjavik is 960 that way. New York almost 3,000. Edinburgh and London. All of these things that you get like when you're at the most northern point of land. Like there's not a lot of people here. A lot of the stone in this area is like the slate, and you can just see it in the rock. If there's not much milling that has to be done with that. But look, We can just walk nicely along this track. I don't know what these are. I assume there's something for ship, but we can look at them and appreciate them. Whenever there was a herring trade here in Wick, there were all of these ladies, and they had to haul all of their fish that they caught on the ships all the way up the hill. Well, that's fine, but the hills are slippery and you fall. And so what they did, they built all of these stairs to go all the way to the top to bring their fish. Leave it to a lady to make traveling with heavy loads much easier. We're not gonna go up those stairs though because my feet hurt. Okay, I think this is an amazing time to wrap up our adventure in Wick. Like, subscribe, or don't. See you next time, and maybe I'll get Droney to follow me a little bit better. Ciao. Touch the ocean. Ooh, he's dry. Hey.